Hello, everyone. This is David, Fairly Secret Music. Um, haven't done one of these in a while. I have finished my job at the Postal Service, and I am starting to do a new job February 10th for another company, and I will be working second shift, so I'll be having a little bit more time to watch and record videos. So, first thing off, uh, I have a couple projects, music projects that I sing and play drums in, and one is called Fairly Secret Army, and the other one is Waves of Mercury. It's kind of a shitty way to show you. That's the cover of the new 4-song EP. It's called Dark Shores, and we have 5 things that people can stream, download, listen to. You can download them for free. 3 of them are full length, and 2 are EPs. So just in case anybody is interested in music that I make, Waves of Mercury and The Fairly Secret Army, and they're both on Bandcamp. Today there was a heavy metal swap meet in Minneapolis, and my friend Brian had the biggest selection of stuff, and he had let me see stuff prior to today. He sent me photos of all the spines so I could kind of get an idea, and I had already asked for about 5 things to be set aside for me, but everything I got except for the last 4 things that I'll show you were from him, and he was doing 3 CDs for $10 and gave me a deal on the last 4 that I got, which was pretty cool. So I'll let you do the math. First group of 3 that I got were Blue Oyster Cult. So this is Agents of Fortune, and I have had some Blue Oyster Cult in the past, but that was way in 2007. So I think I had stuff and then I sold it. That was back when I used to sell stuff kind of on a regular basis, or I would want something else, so then I would just sell things. But I've kind of been toying with the idea of getting the Blue Oyster Cult remasters, and this one is one of those. The 3 that I got are all the remasters. I passed on stuff that wasn't remastered, because these have bonus tracks and liner notes, and the other ones kind of had nothing in the way of artwork. So I got Agents of Fortune, that has, of course, Don't Fear the Reaper. Spectres, which Golden Age of Leather is on here, and my friend Chris made me listen to that. This also has Godzilla on it, and I don't really like that song because a local band used to cover it, and they used to do it all the time. They were called Charlie Don't Surf. So, Spectres, and then Secret Treaties, which is pretty cool because this has a song called Careers of Evil, and I used to be on a podcast called Careers in Evil. I think it was called Careers in Evil rather than Careers of Evil, but yeah. So I'll be interested in seeing how much I get into these Blue Oyster Cult CDs. The Golden Age of Leather, that did sound pretty awesome. So thanks to Chris. Bauhaus, Burning from the Inside, I picked up because I originally was going to wait for them to do... Beggar's Banquet had done these 2 box sets, and I figured they would do the last 2 or 3, but they never did them. So I decided a little bit ago that I should probably get these. So I got Burning from the Inside, and Sky's Gone Out. Some of you might recognize one song on here if you're not a Bauhaus fan. Silent Hedges, which was covered by Nevermore on one of their EPs, and I think they had it on a live thing. I'm not sure though. I know it was on one of the EPs, or the EP. I can't remember how many EPs they had. Galactic Cowboys are a band that I have 4 of their CDs, and Brian was selling the rest of the ones that I needed, and these are the ones he gave me a deal on. These and the next one that I show you. So I got these for like $5, so it was a really good deal. First one is At the End of the Day. They always had really weird covers. They did not take themselves seriously. Machine Fish, as you can tell. Feel the Rage on here is fantastic. Pure power pop. And The Horse That Bud Bought. So, I mean, I think this is the one. Let me see, where is it? I mean, look at this band photo. One of the guys with a gas mask on. Just bizarre. But yeah. So if you have never heard Galactic Cowboys, their first 2 albums were were produced by Sam Taylor, who did the first 4 King's X albums, and they did tour extensively with King's X. They had like a nice kind of association. And I still think they do, but Galactic Cowboys kind of hung up their boots a while back, but just in this last year or 2, they did put out a new album, which I do have. And it has a guy with a gas mask on the cover. This is the one that I went back for, Black Sabbath 13. And then my buddy Chris, oh, that is super sweet. This is the 2-disc version. I believe the last 3 songs are on disc 2. So, I went back to get this because I was kind of on the fence, and then Chris was like, hey, you should get that. That's actually pretty decent. And then he found that live one, and I was like, dang it. I tried to get it from him a couple times, but he wouldn't budge. So yeah, I think, let's see. I think I need like 2 or 3 Black Sabbath CDs, and then I'll have all of them. I also got Black Sabbath Forbidden, and I know this is kind of like weird production, and Ice-T is on there and stuff, but it still has Tony Martin, and I really do like Tony Martin's voice. I think Headless Cross is a fantastic album. I think Cross Purposes and Tear are the only 2 that I don't have. This was one that I already had, but I have a Japanese version of it, and the Japanese version does not have the tray card. Unfortunately, this version has a tear in the cover, but has the full booklet and stuff, and, of course, the tray card. And this is, of course, Soldiers Under Command by none other than Stryper. This is an album that I probably should have never gotten rid of. I have all the other Praxis CDs with Buckethead, and, well, I should say I have the good Praxis CDs. I have the first 3. This is just Brain, who played drums with Primus for a while, Bill Laswell, and Buckethead on it. And it's all instrumental, and it's kind of weird, but they'll have like some kind of crunchy riffs that are pretty cool. And if you hear my voice and it's kind of, I'm hoping I don't get that same echo like I'm sitting next to a snare drum or whatever. I have it on my phone on a metal music stand, but I put a towel over it so you didn't get the vibration like the last time. So I'm hoping that's gone. Unfortunately, my stupid furnace has just popped on. Testament, The Ritual. I did see like Demonic and Low, and I thought about getting those, but a different guy had those. If they were in Brian's stuff for the 3 for $10 thing, I probably would have got them. But he only had. I've been up for a while. He only had The Ritual and Practice What You Preach, which for some reason I didn't have. Because I meant to get it, and then the used copy disappeared that I did find. I should probably move these CDs so they're not in the back. Brian's band here in Minnesota is called Cold Colors. They're a band that I recorded drums on the very first album, which was called Somnium 13. And then I recorded drums on another album. I cannot remember the title of that one off the top of my head, but this is Northernmost. If you like Moonspell or some Paradise Lost stuff, mostly Brian's voice reminds me of the guy in Moonspell. This is actually a pretty decent album. I've listened to a lot of it on Bandcamp, so give them a shot. Cold Colors. I'm going to leave this one till last. I don't know how they pronounce this. Augury Fragmentary Evidence. Anyway, it's got Dominique Forrest Lapointe, I believe is his name. He is the 6-string fretless bass player who played with Beyond Creation. And there was another guy who had their newer one, which actually is a better album, but that was like $6, and I was already spending I ended up spending like $75 today on all these CDs. Granted, I got 23 CDs, so for $75. But yeah, this is a pretty intense death metal band. If you like bands like Beyond Creation or what are they called? Origin? No, not Origin. Obscura. You may like this band. One of the few Paradise Lost CDs, that early ones that I did not have, Icon. Unfortunately, I'm going to have a friend buff this because I don't know if you can see that, but that thing is pretty scratched up. But nothing is too scratched on it where it won't buff out. So that's cool. Because I never see Paradise Lost Icon or Gothic or I think that's it. I just never see these used these days. The early ones. I see some of the later ones used. Immortal, Pure Holocaust. This, I think, is the first album where they really sounded like they knew what they were doing. The production is kind of... it's been a while since I listened to it. I had it at one point, sold a bunch of stuff because I'm dumb. And but I started getting into Immortal when I was really getting into the black metal a few months ago, and decided this was one of the older ones that I was going to get. They had what's it called? Excuse me. Let's see, Blizzards in the North, I think. And what's the one where they're sitting on the let me see this for a second. I'll look it up for you. Like their very first album I might get also, because I remember really liking that. Because it had just kind of a a rock and roll kind of vibe to it, and it wasn't all just blast beats. I know that Abath plays drums on this one, so bear with. So the ones that I do not own are Diabolical, Full Moon Mysticism. I probably would have gotten that if he had it. Battles in the North and Blizzard Beasts. Those two, actually, this was their second album, but those two, Battles in the North and Blizzard Beasts, they had production that was just super cold. Cold is the best way. But yeah, so Heart of the Winter, At the Heart of the Winter is really where they found their sound. And then they did Damned in Black and Sons of the Northern Darkness. I still have to get All Shall Fall and Northern Chaos Gods, but kind of once you have a few Immortal CDs, you don't necessarily need to get them all. So I'm not just like, ooh, yeah, rushing out to get stuff. But yeah, this one is awesome. Apparently, Eric, who I can't remember what his fake stage name was, he is credited to playing drums on this, but Abath actually plays drums. I might have even said that before. I had Tomb of the Mutilated, and I probably shouldn't have sold that, but I found this version, and this is the Death Records Caroline version, the very first U.S. press of Cannibal Corpse, Eaten Back to Life. And I am a big Vince Locke fan. I love the Dead World comic books. I have a Dead World portfolio. I have all the Dead World stuff on a CD-ROM disc that they put out back like 15 years ago or something like that. And so I've kind of wanted, if he had Tomb of the Mutilated with the original cover, which I actually have a t-shirt of too, I would have bought that too, but the version that he had was the edited cover with no lyrics and stuff like that, so that was kind of sad. But this is cool because this is the absolute first U.S. pressing, old school. Doesn't say Metal Blade anywhere on that. And, you know, it's got all the lyrics. And look at how young they look. Just kids. So that was all the stuff I bought from my buddy Brian. And I think this thing goes for like $30 and stuff like that. I haven't looked on Discogs yet to see how much it goes for, but I'm not one of those guys. I'm not going to flip it, and I'm going to just keep it. But I remember Metal Mickey saying this was worth quite a bit, and at one point he was looking for that. I got this today from another vendor for $5. I bought it partially because I think my friend Rich might need it. Unfortunately, because he's kind of a stickler for quality or for condition, there's this little thing where it kind of ripped or started tearing up the thing. It's on the edge of the poster. That was the other idea, is I love this picture, and I wouldn't mind hanging that up on my wall in my studio. That's pretty cool. Or even all of these things. But yeah, the poster is cool. And this thing has been out of print for a long time. That guy also had the original version of The Realm, Suiciety. I don't know how much that goes for. I almost got a Hellstar album that came out after Distortion called I Hear Black, but or no, I'm thinking of a different band. After Nosferatu, I think it was called I Hear Black. I'm not 100% sure, but Nosferatu by Hellstar is like the best thing they ever did, and they didn't. There was no way they were gonna ever top that. So everything after it is probably a disappointment. But Voivod Nothing Face, that was cool that I actually saw it and found it for $5. This is a little different. This is the BMG Record Club edition. So I believe this goes for about $20. But I'm going to keep it unless my buddy Rick needs it. I want to call him Rick for some dumb reason. Unless Rich needs it, then I'll sell it to him. I think I have another CD for him too. I have Voivod Outer Limits. This I bought for my friend Jay, which was also $5. And he had just messaged me a little bit ago asking me to look for some things, and Forbidden Green was one of them. And, you know, a lot of people give this album shit because they kind of got that kind of really bass heavy, not really new metal. They just kind of slowed things down. But there's some good songs on here. And you know what I love about this album is the fact that you can finally hear bass in a Forbidden album. Because before that, he was kind of buried all the time. He's not the best bass player, but, you know, you still want to hear that shit. Nothing sucks more than a mix that is uneven, too. So, I like this album. I think it's cool. It's better than the Omega Concern or whatever the hell that was called. And I was also talking to my buddy Jay, who I bought Forbidden Green for, and we were talking about what King Diamond and Merciful Fate CDs that we still needed. And turns out I only needed 3 King Diamond, and I found 2 of them today. This is the Puppet Master, and this is the the jewel case version of it. But it also comes with a bonus DVD. I'll just put it right there. This was $4. Technically, these two just came to $10 each, or together. So you could just say they were $5 each. But this is the version that I would have wanted because it's not a digipack, which is, I would much rather have a jewel case than a digipack. And so I needed Puppet Master, and let me see what I needed. I just sent him a message the other day. Puppet Master, where is it? Puppet Master. I will say Puppet Master one more time. Puppet Master. It's like that Roddy McDowell show, Night Gallery, where he says Portafoy a bunch of times. Oh, Portafoy. You guys can make a drinking game out of me saying Puppet Master. So that was Puppet Master. Puppet Master by King Diamond. I also needed Abigail 2, which I did not find. But I found The Eye, which is the King Diamond remasters. So I have everything up to this album, which is the last one they did like this, which is cool. It's not one of the gold discs, of course, but it was just weird that I just talked to Jay the other day and I said that I needed these 3 King Diamond. I find 2 of them. The other, let's see, the Merciful Fate that I need, I believe I need, what else do I need? Into the Unknown, Time, and Into the Unknown, Time, and Dead Again. Those are the 3 Merciful Fate CDs that I need. And I decided, well, if I'm going to get those, I should probably get Memento Mori stuff. And he had mentioned Michael Denner and Hank Sherman project, which had Snowy Shad playing drums on that. And I listened to it, and I just don't like the singer. But I would have probably picked it up today before I listened to it. So I'm glad they didn't have it. But I thought it was really cool that I got these 2. And did I mention that I got Puppet Master by King Diamond? Funny thing with this album, Snowy Shaw is credited to playing drums on it, but I believe it is a drum machine. So that was everything I got today. I think it was cool that I got Voivod Nothing Face while wearing the Voivod Nothing Face t-shirt. So I really liked that show, and I hope they do another one. But I hope there's more people to choose from, because my buddy Brian is moving to Colorado, so he won't be around for very long, and that is good for him. All right, take it easy, Puppet Master. Puppet Master. Oh, Porta 4, Puppet Master's coming for you.